Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we've got some fantastic news for you.
We have. This is a good day.
This is a good day.
Well, kind of.
Kind of a good day. Kind of. It's 2/3 of a good day.
There you go.
2/3 of a good day, everybody. You may rejoice if you have Hulu. ThunderCats 2011, and also ThunderCats Roar have been added. So as of today, you can watch the classic original ThunderCats. You can watch the amazing Reboot, which died much too quickly.
Yes.
ThunderCats 2011, which I think was basically 10 years ahead of its time. Like, I think if they had rebooted ThunderCats like this now, it would be amazing. And also you can watch Roar.
So you can get drunk and watch Roar.
Yeah, but
Might be better that way.
Yeah, but also before we get into that, we had a little bit of drama this morning.
I just want to make sure people know about this because this might be something that might affect you. As it turns out, Squid King was supposed to take his SATs in the end of next week, whatever. And he has already been pushed back since March because they keep canceling them. Well, if you are a person that knows somebody taking the SATs or has a kid taking the SATs, you might want to check because apparently they went around and canceled a bunch of locations, canceled a bunch of tests, and canceled a bunch of kids taking the tests, and they didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
So we only found out about it because Squid King saw something online and we had us double check, and his test has been canceled. We had to reschedule him for the next month. They didn't even let anybody know. So I'm letting you know to make sure you get your kids scheduled or schedule yourself.
Yeah, because I know we have some younger viewers here, and that's why we're so late on videos today. We had to deal with that bull crap this morning. So anyway, let's talk about good news. ThunderCats 2011, which is especially good news.
We just skip it. Let's not even mention the other one.
Well, I'm going to mention it at the end, talk about what happened here. But it's very interesting because there are multiple articles on it. I just want to point this out on Geek Tyrant first, that they're very excited about ThunderCats. All 130 episodes of it, and also the 26 episodes of the Reboot, which again is a travesty. Same thing with He-Man.
Look how nice that looks. Look how amazing that looks.
It's so good. And that's it. There's no mention of the other one. That's
what we don't mention. It's the Kevin of the...
oh my God.
Of the Ghidorah that is...
It is Kevin.
This three series of ThunderCats.
So we have ThunderCats 2011, and Kevin.
Yeah. Okay, for those who don't know what that means, because some people are like, well, my name is Kevin, that's insulting. No, if you see Ghidorah, he has 3 heads, and the one is kind of like, and they call that one Kevin.
So I'm also trying to think, what was it on Saturday Night Live where they had the sisters on the Lawrence Welk
Is it
show?
Doreen?
Doreen, I think. And Doreen!
Is her name Doreen?
I think it's Doreen.
I can never understand what she's saying.
I think it's Doreen. But that is ThunderCats Roar. One of these things is not like the others, but these two are absolutely worth watching. We're going to read the article here from comicbook.com. You just found this out.
I didn't know this. Apparently this was hitting the news yesterday. People were sharing it on Twitter yesterday, which I retweeted somebody. I didn't even see it because we were not on much yesterday. We were very busy.
And this is yesterday. Yeah, they just announced it yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Twitter user the Alan Johnson shared the big development that not only has the original ThunderCats animated series landed on Hulu, but the 2011 reboot of that series that arrived on Cartoon Network years ago has been added. Yep.
It was added today. The 2011 I think was supposed to be, because they said tomorrow and that was yesterday, so it's today.
There is no mention at all of Roar. While ThunderCats isn't traditionally thought of as anime, the original series was actually created in Japan. Actually, some of the animators on ThunderCats, if I remember correctly, went on to Studio Ghibli, because it was Topcraft, and a lot of those animators went to Studio Ghibli, but they worked on all the Rankin Bass stuff. Right.
Well, I think the reason no one's mentioned it is I don't think people really knew about it, because everybody was talking about those two, and you had to go look, and that's when you saw that the Roar was added too. No one's really talking about Roar. What's that tell you? When even the media, who usually white knights for them, are not even mentioning it.
We have 2 articles. Yeah, they said, will you be binging through ThunderCats or its reboot on Hulu?
Yeah, the good ones.
And Doreen.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that.
Is that what it is? I don't even
know what her dang name is.
But yeah, so nobody cares. Nobody cares, but everybody's excited about ThunderCats 2011. Now, this was an interesting thing because, again, I think He-Man 2002 and ThunderCats 2011 were 2 of the best, most respectful updates to classic 80s franchises. They actually got it right for the most part. I mean, people nitpick things here and there, but for the most part, they took what worked, they changed what didn't work, but they still kept the same tone of the show.
Yeah, they were good.
They modernized it a little bit. He-Man, especially, they fleshed everyone out.
They were good. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
They were good. They got it. They respected it. They were good. It's like, to me, comparing, like you said, the 2002 He-Man, the irreverent retcon of that would be, I think, the new She-Ra show. If they would do something like that with the new He-Man, people would lose their crap.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think
rightfully so.
That's why I think they're stepping over. That's why I think Mattel, I think they probably will do Netflix She-Ra stuff here and there, but it's going to be mostly ignored.
Yeah.
Because most people, they remember, the original Masters of the Universe, 2002 Reboot, even New Adventures of He-Man, Space He-Man is mostly ignored.
Well, I think it's funny because with these shows, we keep hearing complaints, the new ones, we keep hearing complaints about, well, the old shows just look so terrible. The old shows are so dated. The old shows were blah, blah, blah. And then you look at ThunderCats Roar, and you're like, wait, you're saying ThunderCats Roar was an improvement on this? I mean, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, how was that? I mean, and the original was just made to sell toys. Still look better than Roar. Same for He-Man.
ThunderCats was one of the most expensive shows on the air at the time. I mean, you compare ThunderCats even to He-Man, where Filmation had a lot of reused footage. ThunderCats did not. And, I mean, you look at it, it was the same studio that did, The Hobbit, Rankin Bass. They did the Christmas specials. They did The Last Unicorn. You can tell, especially, art-wise, it looks a lot like The Last Unicorn. A lot of character designs and stuff, but it was a very expensive show. I'm
just looking at this beauty that is this. I mean, I just can't. And I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about the 2002 He-Man and how great it was and how nice it looked. And every argument that they're whining about now, those shows completely just prove that they're wrong.
Yep.
And then they're still going about it. They keep going back to the original, but they keep forgetting about these other ones that came in the middle that blow all their arguments up. Like, it was just made to sell toys. It just looked terrible. It just didn't have a good story. It's like, but these did. You just step over those.
Yeah.
The originals did too, but that's another story.
ThunderCats, if I remember correctly. Now, I'm not as versed in ThunderCats as I am in other toy lines, but if I remember correctly, ThunderCats, the cartoon came first, and then they made toys later, and it was the same with the Silverhawks, where they focused on the concept of the show, and then they sold the toys later. Because if they wanted to just sell toys, they would have had a hell of a lot more characters.
That's true.
Because look at Transformers and G.I. Joe. They had like tons and tons and tons of characters because they had to sell as many toys as they could sell.
But there are a lot of people who've said to us that they are upset because they haven't got to see the 2011 ThunderCats. Yeah. Now you can see the 2011 ThunderCats. So I'm very, very excited for you, and I'm very, very excited that they're putting this on there for us too. But I'm just really happy about this because, of course we got the awful new one, but you can go look at the original. Now you can see them back to back, and then even
you can compare.
It looks even more worse now.
I mean, my God. I mean, the animation on this show. The animation was absolutely amazing. It was done in an anime style.
It's beautiful.
Today, if they put this on HBO Max or Crunchyroll, it would kill.
This is the level it should be at.
This is what it should be. We're going backwards.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. We're actually going backwards. I know it's because of expense, and you get what you pay for as far as people running these shows. But it just blows my mind when you had this. Look how amazing. I can't even. It's just.
Yeah, and that was the same with the 2002 He-Man. Actually, I would argue ThunderCats 2011 looked better than 2002 He-Man. Now, I've heard multiple stories about what went wrong. Some of it had to do with toy sales not being there. Some of it had to do with the time shift. I know Cartoon Network, when they had shows like this, back then in the 2000s, they didn't know what to do with them. So it was like He-Man 2, where they kept dumping it in a really bad time slot. And same with ThunderCats.
I think it was ahead of its time, too.
It was ahead of its time. This is what fans today would expect. If they had the 2002 He-Man and the 2011 ThunderCats on like Adult Swim right now, they would kill.
They probably would.
Absolutely would kill.
Because we have anime and manga like kicking America's ass on American entertainment ass, and then you have this. This now would be what people want.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But now we have it.
Now we have it, but part of me is like, is this test marketing to see if people are still interested?
I'm hoping. More of this, please.
I am shocked it's not on HBO Max.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised by. Because when I sent it to you, they weren't even mentioning Roar. And I said, isn't it interesting they're on Hulu, but ThunderCats Roar isn't? I'm like, wouldn't these all be on HBO?
It's all same license.
Because it's Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they be on HBO? They're not. They're on Hulu. I mean, Warner used to have stake in Hulu. I don't think they do now, but they used to. Yeah. But maybe it was a pre-existing thing, because it's really strange to me that this stuff would go to Hulu unless there was a deal in play already. This stuff would go to Hulu, not go to HBO. Yeah,
because if I were HBO Max and I were betting on animated content, which we know a lot of these channels are, they just had a thing come up where they're canceling Drunk History on Comedy Central because they want to focus on animation. I would put this on HBO Max. I would see if there were interest, and then continue that series.
Right. Well, that could be what but that's what they're doing. They're putting on Hulu. Let's let Hulu take the expense of advertising it and running it, and letting them be the guinea pig. But it is weird. I'm sorry, I was distracted by the Thundermans from Nickelodeon's on here too.
Yeah, because everybody's eventually what's going to happen is everybody's going to have their own streaming services, and they're probably going to pull the content off. But they do have Cartoon Network as part of Hulu content, so I guess it makes sense. But just very surprised it wasn't on Warner. On HBO
I am
Max.
surprised. I'm not surprised about Thundermans though, because that would be Comcast, which was Nickelodeon, which they own part of Hulu. But sorry, I was distracted by the Thundermans.
Well, the biggest surprise again.
Used to watch that too.
Yeah, the Thundermans was it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So the biggest surprise again is that a lot of these media outlets that were calling ThunderCats fans haters are stepping over the fact that Roar is on.
I don't know if people notice, because I didn't notice. Well, I didn't notice either, because they weren't talking about Roar. Even the person making the announcement did not mention Roar. Was Roar put on? Is there a way to find out when Roar was put on? Was it put on the same time? Was it put on?
It might have been. It might have
already been there.
Yeah, it might have already been there.
It might have already been there. But I don't know, because we didn't care enough to care.
Yeah, nobody cares.
But they're very excited, and everybody's sharing that you can now watch the original ThunderCats and the ThunderCats 2011 on Hulu. I'm just really happy about this. I can't tell you how happy I am about this.
This might be our new family cartoon.
Yep.
Because the kids were too young when this was on originally, but we were watching Avatar for a while, so maybe we'll be like, hey guys, we're going to binge 2011 ThunderCats, but you're not going to get an ending.
Oh, they won't binge it. You and I will. We have to find time. We'll have to find time to watch it.
But I thought this was cool too. This is making the rounds yesterday. Somebody was doing the CGI ThunderCats opening up. Like, I would even prefer this to Roar. Roar is one of the most mean-spirited garbage cartoons I mean, and I don't even call She-Ra a garbage cartoon.
No, I think that makes one of us.
I think it's a misguided reboot, and I think it's She-Ra
if it had been its own thing. If it had been its own thing and it was its own sword girl show, whatever, with its own agendas, I don't think I would have cared. I would have been like, okay, go for it, knock yourself out. It's because they called it She-Ra and then made it not She-Ra that I was mad.
So I haven't even called She-Ra a garbage show, but I call ThunderCats Roar a garbage show. And we're wondering how it got greenlit. There was an interview out there a couple weeks ago with Victor Courtwright, the showrunner, and some of the other.
They're still trying to keep it out there because no one cares.
Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this show. I can't say nobody. I'm sure it's got 5 fans, but they talk about it, and it was greenlit in 2016. So in 2016, he heard that Warner Brothers was interested in bringing back the series, and all the ideas came rushing out. This is Victor Courtwright. I started talking to people at Warner Brothers, and they liked my art style, and a few months later, I finished the pitch episodes, which became Lost Sword. 2016 says a lot, because 2015, 2016 was peak CalArts, Tumblr style. This is when all these shows got greenlit. I think it's about the same time that She-Ra got greenlit. And that was the mindset then, was Tumblr art is the next big thing.
Mock the 80s,
Let's mock the 80s. Let's not be respectful. Let's mock the 80s. And I think that's sort of the same mindset that crept into other ill-conceived reboots, where they're just like, let's make fun of the 80s because boomers.
Yeah, even though people who made the shows were boomers and early Gen Xers, but the people consumed it were mostly later Gen Xers.
Millennials.
At the very end, I mean, or like the very end of Gen X into the early millennial. So when you're doing that, you're like not even mocking the people you thought you were mocking.
I know, right? You're mocking yourself. You're slapping yourself in the face. Stop hitting yourself. But yeah, so this is good news, guys. This is one of those small victories. I mean, I know it doesn't continue the show, But again, I think this is one of those reboots that was done right. It was ahead of its time, just like He-Man 2002, and we could only hope that one or both of the Netflix He-Man shows do justice to He-Man like 2002 did. I am not holding my breath. I'm used to disappointment, but who knows?
Well, I was just going to say the ThunderCats, 2011 and ThunderCats 85, if people want more of that kind of ThunderCats, I would recommend watching the heck out of those, ignoring ThunderCats Roar, so that because all they care about is numbers and money. So, watch the show, watch it twice, let them see that people want this and not that.
Run it in the background at work. It doesn't
every day.
Just binge the entire series. Just go to work. Just set it on play, set your phone off to the side, do your job. We don't want you to lose your job. Do your job and just let ThunderCats play so they get the message that this is the kind of reboot that the fans deserve.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.